So let me know if it's just me and I just can't see. And all right. All right. Hi, Pam Bam. I see you, girl. Let's see how this whole YouTube deal go. Y'all pray my strength in the Lord. Pray my strength in the Lord. You hear me? You hear me? All right. Woo. Well, I was trying to get people on Instagram a couple minutes to get on. And trying to figure out how and why. Pray, and once again, pray my strength to to get this to start recording. I thought that it was doing so, and then maybe not. So I am not going to stress myself over it. And now I'm upside down. How do you do that? How? Somebody pray. Pray hard. I don't even know how I ended up upside down. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, well. I tried, y'all. All my people on YouTube, I tried. I obviously don't know what I'm doing. So, guess what? We're going to press on because that's what we do here. We do not let things like this stress me out because I got enough going on, as you can see. Yeah? We talking. See? Oh, it's upside down. See? My life. Upside down on the video camera, but not on here. I ain't going to worry about it. Anyway, it is Monday. I'm your girl, Queen. Welcome back for another episode of Double R Double C, right? My Real Resilient Conversations Committee, my crew. I love y'all. Thank you so much. If I ever figure out how to get life going over here, you would think all you had to do is push the record button, but I declare nothing works for me. So, as you know, it's Monday. Happy May 9th. I hope that you all had a wonderful Mother's Day. Happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I hope you are recovered from Cinco de Mayo. That gave you a couple days to get over all that drunkenness you probably was dealing with. And I hope that your Mayflowers in this humid weather is becoming a wonderful experience for you in 2022. We could have been anywhere else. However, we were blessed to see today. So, if you are alone like me or you watching on rebroadcast, I really want to say thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy Monday to come on in and see what we're talking about. I'm your host, Quita Quee, for Real Resilient Conversations. And what we do is bi-weekly on a Monday, I use a unique, quirky phase, and we discuss different ways on how to become more resilient in our everyday life. So if it's your first time joining us, I hope and I pray that I say something today that will spark your interest, and I hope that this gives you the opportunity to really see what we have to offer. If you do enjoy this type of teaching, I pray that you go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. Even if it's not for you, it will be for someone who may need it that you know. So thank you so much for my bi-weekly returnees. You know what it's time to do. It's time to go ahead and get your bi-weekly fill up. Today's topic is spring cleaning. So with spring cleaning, y'all tell me what I think this is. The baby is here for a reason. What do you think when it comes to spring cleaning? We're talking about resiliency, right? What do you think resiliency has to do with spring cleaning? And I'm going to give y'all a couple minutes. I was trying to put a poll in there. That didn't work. So I'm going to give y'all a couple minutes to do that while you're thinking, while you're typing in the chat. Just know that today we're going to talk about defining spring cleaning in reference to resiliency, stages of spring cleaning, because there are stages to this thing. You know, it has levels to this thing always, right? Spring cleaning in reference to your mind, and spring cleaning in reference to relationships, spring cleaning in reference to life, spring cleaning in reference to social media, right? We're going to cover those 6 topics on tonight. So while I'm giving you all time to, y'all was wondering about this baby, huh? I will explain the baby here in a minute. Oscar, you jumping, sir. It's not quite a congrats yet, but I'll give y'all a couple minutes to jump on in there just to say, what do you think the topic spring cleaning has to do in relation to resiliency? And because while y'all are thinking about it, we're going to get into the definition of spring cleaning. But isn't it just like this? Like, if somebody say they I woke up like this, with their lashes still on, makeup still on, it's because they went to sleep in their makeup. I just thought I'd tell y'all. So, you would go here and Queen and say, I woke up like this, because I did it. Hair tied up, it's going to be puffy, it's going to be flat in some areas, your wig still on. When I say I woke up like this, it's usually rough. You hear me? So I woke up like this in reference to spring cleaning. Usually is nowhere near this glamorous. But usually you got on just a regular t-shirt. For my people that's on Instagram, you can see I got on pajama pants. I'm roughing it out. You got a baby on your hip, man calling you, another baby want to eat. You like, look, all I'm trying to do is clean the house. It's springtime, right? So then my baby here, right? You got a brand new mama, she got a new baby, or she has a breastfeeding baby. Usually your child is going to be attached at your leg every 5 seconds. Even people that have older kids, what do? It's mama, I want this. Mama, can we do that? Mama, daddy, can we go here? Daddy, can we go play? Dad, right? You got all these different things, and it's usually children are involved because that's part of our family cycle. However, we are going to dig a little bit deeper in reference to children and having them be a part of our lives when it comes to resiliency. Okay. Thank you so much for my compliment. He said my makeup's on point. You know, I tried to do something natural for y'all this time. Y'all pray my strength in the Lord once again. Okay, So yes, I do have on pajama pants. I am comfortable, because usually when you're cleaning, you got to be what? Comfortable. You're not sitting up there trying to be all cute. You don't want to hear nobody. You like, I'm going to throw this on, put some music on. We're going to get to moving today, right? So when we're talking about resiliency, my thing is to make sure that you understand how becoming a more resilient you plays into your everyday life, right? So we're going to dive in today in this perspective of spring cleaning. So what you'll need, all I'm asking of you is that you have an open mind, number one, and number two, paper and pencil or a writing utensil if you're one of those like me that you have to, what's the word? Take notes. Let's see if I can get my life together over here. Nope, I tried, y'all. I promise I did. I don't even know how I turned it upside down. Don't ask me what I be doing over here. I don't even know. I thought I had it all set up. It was, and then I got to touching stuff. I don't even know how I turn it back the other way. Y'all pray. Didn't I tell y'all pray for me? Y'all wasn't praying, huh? And I know the devil busy. You know how I know? I'm in there trying to get myself together. And I asked Alexa to play some gospel music. She playing everything but gospel. I said, okay. Then when I played gospel, no, Alexa, stop. You see what I mean? Y'all see what I mean? Alexa, stop. She be on one today. She wanted to play gospel a little while ago. Now, everything coming on. So I want you all to really take heed to the 5 steps of spring, the 5 stages of spring cleaning, because just like in your everyday life, when it comes to who you are and what goes on, anytime that we have a season of mourning or you're going through something, you have stages that you go through, right? On that natural everyday realm. And so because of that, understanding who and what may have come into your life to really change how you view the spring cleaning of your life can really play a part as to the clutter in your mind, your heart, your physical body, right? And I am telling y'all this, your emotions, because I am learning this about myself, right? And I'm not going to tell you all anything that I am not going through or I haven't, given the time to try myself. And it makes it very hard to understand how do you get out of that funk when you don't even realize what brought you to that funk, right? And we have to protect what we hear, we see, we touch, right? And I'm not going to try and get too biblical on you, but even the Bible states that, right? And you have to be very keen to who or what we allow into our personal or our safe space. So that might be your home, that might be your mind, that might be your emotions. Whatever is your safe space, who and what we allow into those spaces can play a factor into our spring cleaning of our lives. Right? So the first one that I said I wanted to really jump in was the spring cleaning of your mind, because usually if we can deal with the things that are in our mind, then we have a better concept of how we can fix the other things. But the first thing starts up here, right? Because the mind is usually what? The devil's playground. So when we don't take the time out to know what our battlefield looks like, right? We don't know what the playground looks like. We don't know if it's a safe space. We don't know if it's dangerous. We don't know if it's been, if somebody or something has come in to turn it, what was supposed to be a positive thing, into something negative. Does that make sense, y'all? So whenever we're talking about the spring cleaning, it's similar to that of grief, right? The first one is usually enthusiasm. You're like, okay, I'm going to get up. I'm about to go ahead. I'm about to clean this house. I'm going to go through. I'm get rid of some stuff. I'm ready, right? And if y'all watch the ad, the first thing it said was you have a coffee, in this coffee-induced enthusiasm. You like, all right, I got my Red Bull. I got my coffee. kids still sleep maybe a little bit, the man still sleep, woman still sleep, you like, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and make it happen. You get yourself amped up, you got your music on and your headphones, you're ready. And it's before the reality of it all really sets in, right? Because usually when you say I'm a spring clean, you haven't thought about how this is going to affect the next steps that are to come, right? All you know is that you're excited about it and you're ready for what's to come. So whenever number 2, which is going to be doubt. So now the doubt of, can I really get rid of this? Am I really going to be able to accomplish what I'm saying that I want to do, right? That moment of doubt starts to really creep in, and you're like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to let go of that. I don't know if I'm really ready to go and clean that room. It seems like it's so much stuff in there, right? You got to think about people that are hoarders. The first thing they say is, I'm going to get it cleaned up. I can do it anytime. Then the next thing that happens is the doubt, because they're like, where am I going to put all of this stuff? Like, I don't even know if I can really even do this. The moment of doubt now becomes a avenue that takes over, right? So when that takes over, what happens? Fear starts to creep in. And when fear creeps in, you know what happened when fear creeps in? Now it has become, well, people gonna know what's really going on, or they're going to see my mess. So now your insecurities start to play a part of your fear. You wonder, if I throw this away now, what happens if I need it a year from now? Now I gotta go spend money and get another one. I got a good one right here. That fear tactic has now crept in along with that doubt. So now your enthusiasm is out the door. That fear and that doubt now has become your partner. That's your new man or your new woman, is fear and doubt. You want to be in a polygamy relationship? Boom, there you go. Fear and doubt seems to always be ready. Right? So now when I'm saying fear and doubt have now tried to set up residence in your home, the reassurance that your family members or your spouse or your friends or your co-workers, whomever, are giving you, saying, you can do this. Do one, like my family always tell me, and my friends, you know, you can't eat the whole elephant in one day. Take it one bite at a time, right? And if we take the time out to really focus on what is it that I can do? What is within my realm? What is within my scope that I can control, right? Whenever we take the time out to do that, that reassurance of letting you know, of telling yourself, can be useful, right? But it takes a moment where you have to be like, I don't know, can I do this? And then it has to be either someone else that is stronger and that actually knows you to be able to say, you can do this. You like, you sure? Are you sure? Because I don't know if I can, right? And then now that reassurance really starts to set in. Little by little, you chunk away at it, and what happens? Once you finally done, you like, come here, come look at this. Look, you see that? That thing look good, huh? That thing is stinking. I did that, right? And I think whenever, for example, this weekend, I think it was this weekend, maybe Friday, I started working on my garage. Granted, I got a lot of stuff in my garage, right? But it's 20 years worth of me being in the military. So everything that I have, I end up taking a little piece, a little chunk of it with me wherever I go. So what happens when you finally get to the place and you're like, I can see the floor. I can see everything that's in here. I feel, this is nice. Now I don't mind. I can sit in the garage and chill without worrying what's going to sneak up on me, right? That reassurance and that satisfaction of knowing, look how far I came. Look at what I did. And I did it. And you know what makes it so bad? My neighbor, who is a older lady, she said, girl, why you up here doing this by yourself? She came over with her broom and she just jumped right in. Didn't even think twice about it. Helped right on out. She said, because then I needed that reassurance, right? Because I was looking at it like, well, if I just pull everything out, it's going to rain. I don't know if I should. And then she said, girl, come on, let me help you. We're going to go ahead and knock this thing out. As soon as that happened, I was like, okay, she right. I can do this. It changed my perspective of what it would be like to see it complete, right? And that's how it is when we're talking about the things of our mind. If you are not strong enough to get there, I hope and I pray that you have somebody that's in your corner that has a residence in your house, in your home, in your mind, that's a part of you, right? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, that can say, come on, I got you, let's do this, right? And so that kind of jumps right into the mental health aspect of spring cleaning. And like I was talking about before, guilt and shame fall into that doubt and that fear, right? They kind of look like cousins. So then guilt and shame, then you start to say, how did I let it even get like this? How did I let it get this far to where I can't, or I am embarrassed of who I am or what I've become or what this looks like or how that has become, right? And I can tell you for myself, right? When I was talking about mental health, my image of myself physically played a big part into me feeling mentally okay, right? So then it was just days that I was trying to figure out how was I going to make it if I'm already struggling with how my outer appearance looks, right? And because of my fibromyalgia, I'm on a different medication regimen. All of that played a big part. I went from 165 to 188, and it was just like I blinked and I was there. Then I was ashamed. Then I felt guilty, like, well, if you wasn't eating out, if you wasn't doing this, if you wasn't doing that, right? That how did I get this far? I should have known better type of thinking is that shame aspect behind it. And it's usually characterized by the desire to hide something about yourself, right? And I know there's a lot about me that I've always felt like I needed to hide as far as things that I've did, people I've dated, decisions I've made. And I was just like, I need to hide that aspect about me. But at some point I had to say, it's still a part of my story, right? When you get a book, some parts are juicier than others, and you like, oh, let me see what else is coming up, right? There are parts of you that are part of your story that have to be shared. Otherwise, if it's never shared, then it's never appreciated, if that makes sense. And so guilt, though, however, comes in a different form. It comes in the form of trying to do more or take on action of the failures of others or the failure to meet someone else's standard. So now you feel guilty because you didn't meet a certain standard. You feel guilty because somebody else expected you to be X, Y, and Z, and you ended up being E, F, and G. Now you are feeling guilty because you're like, I told them I was going to be able to do it. And when I thought about this, I was thinking about the students that go to college for the first time, and they feel guilty when they cannot keep up with this new schedule, right? And now it plays into, well, now my parents are going to be ashamed of me, my friends that were able to make it, all of these things that play into our emotions usually come in either a form of guilt, shame, fear, or doubt, right? So like that's what I was saying, that they sound like and they look like cousins. Right? And usually these emotions play a role into our lives, and it likes to overstay its welcome, right? If somebody was to come over to your house, you'd be like, okay, yeah, come on over. They get here, they done brought a suitcase. You know, you be like, when you going, huh? And they be like, oh, no, I'm just going to hang out with you for a little bit. You like, well, how long is a little bit, right? And sometimes that guilt, that shame, doubt, fear have now become a permanent residence, and now you got to give a 30-day eviction notice to something that wasn't even supposed to be staying that long, right? And if we discover that it's shame or it's guilt, that right there is the first thing that we can start to tackle. Because whenever we can discover whether it's guilt or shame, whether it's doubt or it's fear, we have to be able to say its name in order to cast it out. So you cannot expect things to move if you don't say its name, right? Example, if the first name up here, if I said you need to go somewhere, you got Pam, you got Ebony, you got Reggie, you got Gina, you got Miss Lori. Y'all gonna be like, well, who you talking to? You ain't say my name, so you must not be talking to me, right? The same way with things that come to jeopardize our mental health. We have to say it out loud, call the devil by its name, call the demon by its name in order to cast it out. In order to get it out of your house, your mental house, your physical house, your emotional house, right? Your financial house, whatever your housing is, you got to be able to call it back and send it back to the pits of where it came from. It don't belong here. It don't belong in your house, right? And so whenever you discover what experience or person brought that on, do you know who and what you need to do to push it back out? And for us, we have to learn how to speak those things and say, you don't belong here. You got somebody that ain't trying to move up with you in life or relationships. You got to say, okay, that's fine. Well, you no longer belong here. Your address has now changed to wherever else you came from, right? And now you no longer have the opportunity to even dwell within, to dwell near my dwelling, right? You can't even come near this house. You can't come into this house. You can't get a piece of this house. It look good on the outside. It's homely on the inside. You don't even deserve to be at this house. We have to learn how to speak those things and send it back, because that's why you have to be careful who you allow into your life. You have to be careful of the places that we go and the things that can latch on to us depending on where we're at. Right? Making a decision at the time for it to leave, right? You got to use your big boy, your big girl voice, like we used to say when I was a cheerleader. They need to be able to hear it from across the room. If I'm 4 foot nothing and I can scream all the way and the people in the very back of the gymnasium can hear me, they should be able to hear me over their conversation. You have to be able to be confident and bold enough. But until that happens, what do you need to do? You got to clear out the space for the people that's just clouding up space, taking up room, taking up existence into your life, and get a hold of the people that's trying to go somewhere with you, that's trying to help you to elevate and become better. And most of the time that doesn't happen because we are too afraid, which we're going to talk about later, to let go of some people, to let go of some things, to let go of some places because of what is comfortable, right? And so when we make that voice, to make sure that you are bold enough to know that your voice matters, bold enough to make sure that you are being heard and understood, right? You have to be gentle with yourself by showing yourself some compassion, because you're not always going to get it right. I don't always get it right. You know what I mean? You got to show yourself some compassion. Say, all right, this one is just a little learning. So not why did this happen to me, but what lesson was I supposed to learn from it? Right? Maybe we could try meditating, finding yourself at a place to where you're able to breathe and focus on your breathing, your comfortable position. You can say, where did that come from? Now you have to relive it, really dig deep, get to the roots. Just like any tree, you can't just chop a tree at the bottom of the trunk and think that it ain't going to grow. It's going to continue to grow, right? So now you got to get down to the root of where it came from, dig it up, and uproot the whole thing and say, okay, this is where it came from. This is who said it. This is where I was in my life that changed it. Now it's time for me to remove it from my life, right? And I know resistance and avoidance can make stuff stick around a little longer. And that resistance and that avoidance is when you leave one too many roots behind and they link up and they like, oh yeah, come on, yeah, let's go on over here, right? Now they linked up and you thought you was done with that thing and now it's come back in a different way. We have to stop, because I am bad at this myself, y'all, resisting and avoiding things rather than dealing with things, right? And why I'm still learning this now. There's still something I am not just telling y'all, but it's stuff that I'm dealing with and that I go through and that I mentally experience, right, on a real level. And find time to affirm yourself. In those moments where you like, dang, I messed up. Why didn't I get this? Why am I going through that, right? You have to start saying, I'm free from harm. Right? I feel love. I feel kindness. I feel happiness. I feel joy. Whatever the thing you need to say to affirm yourself. If you all of a sudden you just don't know, find it on the internet. Write it down. Hear what the things that all these motivational speakers are saying, the people that you read or that you hear about. Right? Write those things down. Say them out loud. Say I'm healthy, I'm blessed, I'm balanced in my mind, body, my heart, my spirit, my emotions. I forgive myself. Y'all, yo. I forgive myself is such a real thing. Like a hurtful, oh goodness, do I really forgive myself? When you have to forgive yourself and others. So what about, can you forgive the person who will never tell you that they apologize? right? When you have to forgive the person who brought it into your world and they did it specifically to hurt you, can you still forgive them? Right? Now that's a whole nother level of spring cleaning. You might got to do spring cleaning, summer cleaning, fall cleaning, right? It might take a little bit more, right? I choose to release the negative energy or the negative things that were holding me back. I choose me. I choose me. And I don't choose to hold on to the things that brought it, but I choose to hold on to the lesson I was supposed to learn from it. So be aware that there are things that clutter our mind, and which we'll talk about here, talking about the social media. That is one thing that can clutter your mind, and you have to let go of unnecessary excess baggage. And usually the baggage comes because we don't know how to declutter. We don't know how to do spring cleaning. We don't know how to fall back and really do some analyzing of where we are and what we need to do, right? We need to take time to identify, release, and clean, right? Whenever you identify that there is a box in the corner that's been there for the last 3 years, you say, I'm going to get rid of the box. Not everything that was underneath the box, everything that dripped out of the box, now you have to clean it, right? Give it space for something new. And start doing things to change your viewpoint. Meaning, go on a walk, go on some new adventures, go travel, go to a city you've never been to, right? Go and just try something new. Go have picnics, go ride bikes, go get some rollerblades. Try something new. Right? And right now, my something new is I'm getting ready to retire. It is something new, and it is scaring the dickens out of me, right? Excuse me. And so we got to take things. If we want to get financially free, then that means we got to cancel out some of these subscriptions. That means if I want to get financially free, I got to get rid of eating out. If I really want to get financially free, what can I get rid of that I am not yet ready to let go of, right? And things that no longer serve me purpose, right? Because Brené Brown said it best. Stories are just data with a soul to it, right? And the soul is usually connected to a person or thing. The things that we allow in our world in respect to relationships on any level, she said that it's a connection that is in essence based on a human experience, and that human experience is up to us on how we interpret it, right? That impeding connection that most of the time we've experienced has something to do with shame. And even as a child, if you didn't do something right, the first thing your parent says, shame on you, you should have known better than that. You learn shame as a child growing up. Shame on you, you see him on the phone? Shame on you. Get out of my face. Whatever, right? That type of thinking, that type of thought process, that is what causes this shame to become a part of us. Now it has resonated and it has taken shop into our homes, into our mind, because we have not understood that the quality that prevented us from being worthy and loved has now transcended to vulnerability. I hate being vulnerable. You hear me? I hate it because then it opens me up to to more opportunity for me to be misused or abused, right? And that also goes back to my childhood. And I was like, well, where did that come from? Why am I so afraid, right? That fear, like I spoke about earlier, has now become a part of life. And ask yourself, if I didn't reach out, would I still have relationships with these people? If I didn't make the first move, how do you feel after being around them? What type of energy do they give off when you leave them? And are you at a good place? Are you like drained? Are you mentally exhausted? Are you frustrated? Are you irritated? What type of energy comes after you've spent time with these people, right? And have you established healthy boundaries? Let me tell you something. I used to read a book, and it was talking about boundaries, and I never understood boundaries, right? Because I'm like, you treat people good no matter what. However, when you're talking about spring cleaning, right, the people that are in your life for relationships, there are going to be boundaries, have to say. That's just like you can't just go down in these neighborhoods. Sometimes they got speed bumps, right? There's a boundary to how fast you should be going here. So let me help you slow down, right? That's how I feel boundaries can be. It can be more dramatic, right? Or it can be a speed bump. It just depends on what type of boundaries you need to establish with these friendships. And do they respect your boundaries, right? If you're talking to a friend and you say, look, I don't want to be in a intimate relationship. However, I would love to be friends with you. If they continue to press the issue into an intimate level, they don't respect your boundaries. That is an automatic, you are out the door, right? Y'all, I am talking to myself. I am preaching to a mirror, looking at myself. You hear me? Every time that we show up for other people, but people they're never around to show up for you when you need them. At that point, you say, do I still need to have you in my life, right? Holding on to you, what type of relationships are we allowing into our life? And are we still allowing people into our lives out of obligation or out of loyalty? Man, you my homie. I know you since school, man. You can't just up and diss me like that. Your energy is draining me. So now, therefore, you no longer are allowed into my realm, right? No disrespect, but now you making me feel paranoid. I am, now I'm worried about, which I wasn't before, right? And we have to find out if we need more variety in our life. And variety you might need to have your little hood person on the side. That's still your friend that's ready to throw bows if somebody come at you wrong. You might need to have somebody that say, no, we need to do some meditation. We need to, instead of, we need somebody that's going to say, we're going to the club to go and see Maxwell. We're going to go see some neo soul. Okay, you might need a little variety. You might need somebody who is financially savvy. You need to have some variety in your relationships, right? You need to have at least 3 pals in your life when you are sorting out relationships. Your keep, your alter, or your donate and get rid of, right? The thing that we are still trying to hold on to, is it worth us holding on to if it's causing more stress? Do we need to hold on to those things if it is causing us more turmoil than it is growth? That is the real thing. And can I say this and y'all not judge me, because I'm trying to be honest, open, and transparent, like trying to do a little transformation church. Sometimes those relationships could also mean family. And most of the time we stick around for family members out of obligation, because that's family. And then that family member now has pulled us down to the bottom of the barrel, but they have climbed themselves up. I'm sorry, I love you, cousin, niece, cousin, auntie, nephew, brother, sister, whoever. You causing me too much. You too expensive. I can't even hold on to you, right? We have to be able to hold on to the lesson we're supposed to learn from it, but not necessarily hold on to the person that's associated with it. Okay? The corners of your consciousness are saying, have things gone unsaid and I'm too afraid because I feel like I am going to, lose somebody. At this point, they have already been lost. If they have caused you so much turmoil because they're family and they're friends and you feel a sense of loyalty, but they're not doing you any good. Now you hurting yourself because you are worried about this person when they not worried about you, right? And, if you're big enough to say, I apologize when things have gone wrong, and you ask them for an apology, and they look at you like, well, I ain't got nothing to apologize for. I'm sorry, that might be the person that need to be in the get rid of, donate pile. You've shown your true colors, right? Sometimes they say, if somebody show you who they are, believe it. And whenever we're talking about being honest, open, and transparent, there's sometimes that we just need to fold things and color coordinate it. I've allowed you to still be here. However, how often am I going to wear this sweater in the middle of summer? not no time soon. It's going to the back of the closet, or it's going in a storage bin, right? There's some people in our lives we need to put to the back of the closet. You don't have immediate access to me. You don't have immediate access to what's going on. So you may not know, and you may not see me as often. You may not talk to me as often. However, when it's time and I say, hey, I'm just calling to check on you, you're like, oh, I've been thinking about you. Oh, you could have hit me up. That's that back of the closet action, right? But there's still something within them that is still worthy of you giving time and energy to. So, excuse me, those people, you put boundaries where needed, understand their role in your life and the role that you have in their life, right? So if you are looking at the things, finally, there's going to be times when you say, I need to step back and reevaluate, right? Sit back and evaluate if your hard work, love, and dedication are appreciated. Whenever you're talking about, I think I can wear this sweater, what happens? That's kind of like the person that you still allowing in your life. It's color coordinated. You like, okay, I can still use it, until you try to squeeze into it and you realize that you are not a size 4 anymore. You're a size 16. There's some things that now has to be donated. That person might need to be donated to someone else, and they are more benefiting for someone else and not necessarily you in your life. So 10 steps to cleaning your life real quick. Talk about surveying your circumstances, setting goals to achieve them, uncovering your motivation, the things that you enjoy without it actually going to give something back to you, right? So for example, if I enjoy sitting outside, letting the breeze hit me, that is my moment. It's not going to give me anything other than what I inherently expect to receive from it, that peaceness, right? That peace that comes along with it. Clean your space from what no longer serves you. So whether that be person, place, thing, habit. If it no longer serves you, you have outgrown it. It is time to donate it to somebody else who need it, right? Change old habits, try something new, revamp old methods, new workouts, new recipes. Look, so you get older, you realize you can't eat everything that you want to eat. I have been dealing with this doggone acid reflux for the last 2 days. I don't know what is going on. I can't have breads. I ate oatmeal and I ended up with acid reflux. How please help me, Jesus. Now I have to say, okay, old habits, you can't eat what you want to eat. Now you got to figure out, is it a gluten thing? Is it this? Is it that? There's going to be people and places and situations in your life that you like, man, I like you, but you ain't good for me. There's things in our life that ain't good for us no more. We got to donate it to somebody else it might be better prepared for, because you don't work for me no more, right? We got to switch it up. Sort through those relationships. Reevaluate if it's going to be beneficial. Reevaluate if you can roll it into something better. If you can kind of look at it, say, well, remember when we used to do this? Like, for example, I used to have a prayer group. We used to get up every morning at 5 a.m. and pray together. I don't have that same group. At some point, we kind of fell off. Everybody wanted to sleep in. A little later, so be it, right? However, when we are looking at what can I do to either change it to make it better so that it can still play a factor into my life, or you say, okay, I've outgrown this chapter of my life and on to the next, right? You have to still be kind to yourself. We're in a world where everybody can find something wrong with you. And yet, with that, you still have to say, everybody else is tearing me down. How can I build myself back up? How can I still love on myself? How can I still remember that I'm still worthy, right, of the things, right? Going back to those affirmations we were talking about. And, I mean, let me not jump into that. So jumping right into social media cleanup. How many of y'all have actually done a social media cleanup? Like, give me some love in the chat. How many people have actually done a social media cleanup? Because I haven't. Probably within the last year, I have blocked more people than I have actually ever blocked in my life. And I think that was 4 people. I was never one to block. And I was never one to not allow people to see, that part of me as far as social media goes. And when it was time, I was like, what do I need to do? I'm like, okay, have you changed your profile pictures? It's still showing a picture of you from 5 years ago, right? Because now you done gained weight. Now you don't want folks to see because they could be asking questions. Have you gone through to see if you needed to change your cover picture, the things that are behind you? Do you feel confident that that's still a representation of who you are and where you are at this point in your life, right? Have you talked or changed your about me section? Have things changed? Are you no longer married? Are you divorced? Right? The different things that go on, especially if you have a business page or a personal page that you spit a little bit of that business into, you kind of sprinkle it in there. You really got to make sure that you are professional with the things that you are putting out there, because now you don't want to take the risk of alienating a potential client or a business professional who might be looking at your page thinking about hiring you, but they seeing some stuff in there that's like suspect, right? So to keep your business page separate from your personal page, are you going through and making the necessary changes so that it represents the aspect of you are trying to portray, if that makes sense? Clean out your friends list, check for fake accounts, y'all. And my family on the other side real bad about this. They can't remember their pages, so then they create another one. So now you got 5 pages, and I don't know which one is really you, because you got so many pages. Right? So then you got to be like, well, I'm going to just delete all of them and you can send me another one now, but they didn't send you another one. You don't know if it's really them or if it's somebody else. Take time out to clean out your friend list. Unfollow people or businesses that no longer suit you. So if I was into modeling or acting or pole dancing or whatever crazy, right? And that no longer is a representation of me, unfollow. Why are you still following it? Just so you can be like, oh, they still doing that? Oh, let me see. All right? It's like we grow out of things, and that's okay. A potted plant is going to grow out of the little itty bitty thing it came in, right? You have to transfer it to something better, something bigger. Give it space for it to grow, right? Unlike some of those pages that are no longer relevant, make sure your headliner is well written, especially if it's a business page, especially if you think of things like LinkedIn. Is it a representation of the person that you want them to see, right? Make sure you change your passwords. How many times have you, then you don't want to change your password, because then you like, I know what this password is. And then they be like, change it. You be like, oh, shoot. What did I change it to? Right? But your overall content has to be very strategic. Very strategic. So that is my time. I know I went over today. I know I did, y'all. But I had so much I was trying to get out to y'all. And I was having issues. I was trying to wait for people to get in. So it kind of threw me off. Then it kicked me out because they didn't like the music I had in the background. I'm telling y'all, the devil was busy today. So I hope that you enjoyed it. I pray that I have said something that has helped you to jumpstart your resiliency to become a better you, whether it's for you, someone you know, today, tomorrow, and for future generations to come. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you for coming. Please, please, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe so that you don't miss out on the great content that is to come, because on the 23rd of May, we will be talking about what? Fruit tree pruning. So fruit tree pruning, think about where that is now when you're talking about fruit trees and when you're talking about pruning. They are both necessary in order for healing and growth, right? So y'all know where I'm going. You make sure you come back on the 23rd, same time, same place, same space, with the same face. I love y'all. I love you, love you, love you, love you. And I am so thankful. I will see y'all soon. Love, peace, joy, and happiness today, tomorrow, and forevermore. Love y'all. See y'all later. Bye.